The Fanchise Forecast. That's right, man. The Fanchise Forecast, where we dish on the hottest and coldest players of the week, Justin, man. So welcome to the Fanchise Forecast. First player up, we got to go ice cold, man. That is our guy, Karl-Anthony Clarkson. In the last week, 6.5 points per game, 28% from the field, 37% from the charity stripe, and 20% from downtown, man. Your thoughts on Jordan Clarkson, man? He's cooling off right now.
Well, I just wanted to pull up his stats because I looked at this the other day, and I was surprised actually that he's not as good of a three-point shooter in his career as I thought he was. I thought he was gonna mostly at 35, 36%. I thought he was a solid above average.
Yeah.
He's actually only shooting 33% for his career from three. He's only had a couple seasons where he's been at 37 or 36, so it seems like he's more in the 33 area as a three-point shooter. So he was probably shooting above his head early in the season. So I think this is more, he's just a streaky player. So yeah, he's cold, but like, I don't think he's not going to be someone that's going to shoot, a consistent percentage through a season. He's a guy that's going to be up and down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's just the type of player he is. He's going to be hot and cold. There's going to be some games he's going to be the good J.R. Smith, and then there's going to be other games he's going to be the bad J.R. Smith, as they say. He's the prototype of that player, right? He's hot. When he's hot, he's going to win you games. When he's cold, he's going to be cold, and you're going to have to live with that throughout the season. Right now, he's on just a brutal streak. I think for this season now, he's shooting only 29% from three, which would be his lowest of his career. He's never shot below 30%.
Right.
So this is a really bad stretch. I expect him to get it back going. And by the way, he's been getting pretty good looks too. This is not, it's not like he's been forcing for the most part. He's gotten a lot of good looks that he's just missed.
Yeah.
So, and yesterday, I think they must have had the window open at the Garden because he missed everything but the floor yesterday on one of those shots. He was wide open. So he's not been good. And I think it's affecting the rest of his game too. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't seen him be as aggressive to score at times in the paint because maybe he's missing those shots. If I were him, I'd like to see him take it inside more. Let's see a ball. You know what they always say when you start playing hoops? It's the tail oldest time. See one go through the hoop, get to the line, go to the basket, get some easy buckets before you start pulling from three. Because right now he's looking to pull in transition. He's looking from three. I want to see him get inside, start getting that flow back, start getting that feel back, then take it back outside. That's what I want to see.
And you're right, because right now he's shooting 51% from that short mid-range, 67 from at the rim. And so, maybe that's what he needs, because right now, man, he's shooting 50% effective field goal percentage and only 30 from three, and he's got to pick it up. But you're right, this is who he is, so you kind of have to expect these kind of, cold fronts, if you will, if we're talking forecast here. You got to expect the eventual cold front to come through for Jordan Clarkson. However, with Deuce McBride out, and you're going to be facing the Toronto Raptors and then potentially the Miami Heat or the Orlando Magic, Jordan Clarkson's going to have to come through not just offensively to fill in the shooting void, but also defensively. You're going to be coming up against some tough guards, the Anthony Blacks of the world, quickly, Jacoby Walter. You might have to check Norman Powell or Davion Mitchell. So Clarkson's going to have a tough week without Deuce, should the Knicks make it all the way to the NBA Cup semifinals and beyond. Now, heating up on the forecast, even though he did not play yesterday against the Orlando Magic, Karl-Anthony Towns, big bodega, man. It was trending on a good week, especially offensively, man. 27 points per game, 56% shooting from the field, 50 from three, and 90 from downtown. Big bodega was on the money this week, man. He's trending that way. Had the meltdown in Boston, but offensively, he's been pretty good.
Well, there's always going to be one cat meltdown in every 10 games, right? If this was a DraftKings thing, they should have a cat meltdown over under on the prop bets, right? Because that would be over under 1.5 per every 15 games. So he does that, but he's a great offensive player. He's going to be a great offensive player. He started off the season shooting badly, very uncharacteristic for him, especially from three. You knew he was going to get it together eventually. Remember, he didn't play in the preseason in training camp because he was banged up with the injury. So he was always going to get it together. He's hopefully we just need to get him back healthy. I'm not worried about his offense. I'm never worried about Cat's offense.
And there it is, Karl-Anthony Towns heating up, and hopefully he'll be back to provide reinforcements for the Knicks with a big week ahead. Josh Hart, Justin, is not only heating up, but he is on fire. Josh Hart continues to cook this week at 14.8 points per game, 51% shooting from the field, and 40 from 3 on 5 attempts to go along with 90% from the charity stripe. Josh Hart, man, digging in.
He's really been their best player for some time now. You know what I mean? Like this stretch of games, however many is 5 to 10 games since he's really been in the starting lineup. Whenever Mitch was out with the illness, and he's for I guess the last 5-10 games, he's really been their best player. And if he's shooting like this, that's the key for him, in my opinion, because when he's not shooting, he kind of gets played off the floor against some teams because they're not going to guard him. And then you're playing 4 and 5, and then you can't really have Mitch and him on the floor together. And then it just creates problems. But when he's willing to shoot, you saw yesterday, there was a couple plays. The Magic ran to close out on him. I think the Knicks swung it. Josh was open, and they had to come close out because he has been shooting. And not only, like you said, he's shooting 40%. That 40% is a good 3-point shooter. So I want to see him continue shooting the rock. I don't care if he's shooting 35, 37, 40. Shoot the rock, because when he does, he becomes a totally different player, and it opens up so much for the Knicks offense. So salute to Josh, because with the finger injury, I didn't think this was possible. I was more worried about a shot. Maybe he should get injured more often. Maybe that's what needs to happen. Okay, maybe he needs to break his whole goddamn hand, and then he'll be shooting 50%. I don't know what it is, but I like this Josh that I'm seeing right now.
Yo, no question about it, man. He's hot. The confidence is through the roof, which is what you have to love about Josh Hart, because he's not only shooting the threes with confidence, but he's attacking closeouts and knocking down mid-range shots. So there's nothing that he's not willing to do offensively. And then, man, this is where, Josh Hart shines bright. You take a look at the on-off numbers again, and let me just switch the screens real quick. 99th percentile in transition with the Knicks, man. Off of steals, they're plus 1.8 points plus per 100 possessions, and off of live rebounds, they are plus 2.8. When they get it and go, Josh Hart is at the front of it, and that's what Mike Brown means by that push-ahead guy. So you don't necessarily need a backup point guard if you have the right guys out there that are running that system and playing fast as he wants, because you have a different number of guys that can bring it up. But Josh Hart, man, Mr. Triple-Double, that's a big bonus for us right now, with the shooting being the skill that keeps him on the floor and keeps him dangerous. The passing numbers and him playing smart, I think, has been also a key to making this team a lot more well-rounded. So, great job by Josh Hart. And that's our Fanchise Forecast, ladies and gentlemen. Justin, what'd you think, man? Your first one, man.
I love I like how you obviously the segue. You didn't know Turks was coming. That was
I didn't know.
Part.
Yeah.
So that's how you got to work it. The forecast in Turks. Now we're moving it over to the Fanchise Forecast. I love it.
Fanchise Forecast, man. We'll switch up the music for it. That I kind of use my trivia music. We got to get a new beat for it, man. We'll have our own section. People are saying maybe we'll have like a full forecast board like Al Roker and them be having and stuff in the background. So maybe I'll go like green screen and we'll do it that way, Weather Channel style. But yeah, it's a good format. Good segment, man. Great job by you, bro.
And I think the board, the Al Roker type board, that'll hit big time.
That might be a hit.